everybody. Welcome to part 3 of my progress from diagnosis to starting treatment. So I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes because I know it gets kind of boring at that 10-minute line. So I'm going to get started quicker than usual. Okay, so the next step after, let's see, we left off, told my friends, everybody knows now. So now I need to go talk to the oncologists. The first oncologist I see is he is a surgical oncologist. So he's actually the same doctor who's going to be doing my double mastectomy. And he is the one who tells me what my biology is of my cancer. So he sits down with me, and thank God my mom was there because she was writing everything down and making sure that I understood what was going on and I wasn't just kind of in one ear out the other, because that's what I felt like the whole time. So Dr. Kallenberg tells me that the type of cancer I have, first of all, he tells me that my lymph node was negative. So that's a good thing. That's positive. Benign lymph node. Yay! But the spot on top that I could feel, and then the spot on my chest wall, those two did come back positive as what's called triple positive breast cancer. I'm thinking positive. Okay, so that means it's easy, right? It's easy to fix. Well, apparently not, because the next words out of his mouth are, 10 years ago, this was the statement, but now we have chemo that works and that will get you fixed up. So great. Okay, cool. So what is triple positive breast cancer? Triple positive breast cancer means it's HR positive, and HR, I wrote it down because I knew I'd forget. HR positive stands for hormone receptor positive. So the cancer feeds off of hormones, and me being 32 and not hitting menopause yet means that I've got a lot of hormones. I've got a lot of food for the cancer to feed on. And then the other part of the triple positive is HER2 positive, which means it's an aggressive and fast growing cancer. So the surgical oncologist was like, we need to start treatment right away. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, what do you suggest, I suppose, So he tells me what we should do is 6 rounds of chemo, a double mastectomy and reconstruction, and then 6 more rounds of a hormone treatment. He said that's what he would suggest to his wife if she had the same diagnosis. That's what he would suggest to his daughter, any of his family members. So I was like, well, you seem very smart. We're gonna go with what you think. Cool beans. Okay, so the next I go see my general oncologist, who is like the most brilliant person I have ever met. She walks in and you're just like, did I just meet the smartest person in the whole world? Because that's just what she looks like. But she's very, very kind, very nice, and she's just brilliant. And she gives me a list of things to do. So I've got homework before chemo starts, because her office is where the chemo takes place. So she gives me homework. First, I need to talk to a fertility doctor because they want me to understand the possibilities of maybe being infertile after this, and what my options are. Then they want me to get my heart checked because the type of chemo I'm going on is very strong, and they want to make sure that my heart is strong enough to handle the strong chemo. Okay. Then they want me to get an MRI to get the margins everywhere of where the tumor is. Then they want me to get a CT. I've been having headaches, so they wanted to make sure that the cancer hadn't spread to my brain. And then I had to get a port put in so that they could access my vein at any time to give me my treatment. So I'll go over those real quickly and then we'll be done. Then we'll be done until treatment starts, and it'll be a whole new series. The fertility appointment was probably the hardest appointment for me. Just because I've always wanted kids, and I still can there's no reason I can't have kids. I don't know. I won't know until all of this is over. But basically the conversation was, we have enough time to do one harvest. Each harvest we get about 15 eggs, and at the time of harvest they freeze them, I suppose, to keep them alive. But apparently unfertilized eggs are not as strong as fertilized eggs. And since I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a husband, I don't have a egg fertilizer. So that wasn't an option. Then the odds of me getting pregnant, out of those 15 eggs, the odds of me having just one live child, the odds were much lower than I had expected, and I would have to get pregnant by 35. Even for those odds, the odds were 70%. That's what it was. To me, it wasn't worth it. So I said, you know what? I looked to my mom because she was with me at the appointment, and I said, I'm done with this appointment. I just think that if I'm able to have kids after this, that's wonderful. If not, I've got a beautiful niece and nephew that I can spoil the heck out of. Other children need love, so that can happen too. I said, I'm just gonna let Jesus take the wheel on this one. I can't go through, it's too difficult of a decision for me. I didn't want to do it. So, Jesus, take the wheel. We'll see what happens when we're all done, and I'm sure I'll have a baby to love. Sorry, Dixie was, you want to be in the video too, Dixie, you sweet girl. There's mama's girl. Okay, okay, get down. We'll pet you later. Okay, so after the fertility doctor, I got my heart checked. That was really simple. You just lay on the table in a gown, and the either guy or gal technician puts their machine, I don't know what to call them, machine, sonogram, doodah, whatever. They take pictures of your heart on the screen. They make sure it's strong enough. My heart was strong enough. Yay! I get to have chemo. So the next was the MRI, which was another interesting story. So you get in a gown, and then you get earplugs, because the entire time you're in this machine, it sounds like a really loud computer from the old time days that had to dial up to the internet. So it's like, I mean, so the whole time. So you have earplugs that help you kind of with that. And so you lay down on this padded doodah there. You put your boobs in, and you put your head on this headrest, and then you just go straight back into the machine. I had to get what's called a contrast. They put it in your arm, and the gal told me, she said, it's just gonna feel cold going up your arm. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. So I'm sitting there, and she goes, okay, the contrast is coming, and I feel the cold come up my arm. But then I feel like I'm urinating, like I'm using the restroom, and I'm in my head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is this an emergency? Do I squeeze the button? Oh, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. Oh, so I just laid there and thought, well, I guess I'm gonna be paying for this $8 bajillion machine. What else am I supposed to do? So I just laid there, and the lady when I got out of the machine, lady said, oh no, don't worry, it was just the contrast. And I was like, thanks for letting me know, because I thought I had just bought myself an MRI machine, but I didn't, so that's good. The next was the CT. That was very similar to the MRI, but a lot shorter and a lot less noisy. Just skin pushed me in, pulled me out. I don't have brain cancer. That's exciting, because I think a brain tumor would be the scariest thing ever, and I don't have that. So yay. The next was to put my port in. So my mom and dad dropped me off at the hospital, and they get me all gowned up, weird hat on my head, and they wheel me into this room that looks kind of like an outdated Grey's Anatomy room. Like all the tiles are brown, and it's kind of ugly, and I'm just like, well, hopefully the knives are sharp, right? Like, hopefully the tools are new. They put me on this table, they put a blue like sheet over my head because here's my port is right here. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see where it looks almost like a bruise, but it's right here. So I'm sitting on the table, and I get real chatty when I'm nervous. So I'm chatting to all the nurses and staff in the room, and the gal comes over and she gives me a shot. She said, "Okay, this is going to make you feel sleepy. You may not fall asleep, but it's going to make you feel sleepy." So she gives that to me, and I just felt sleepy, but I still wanted to talk because I was nervous. So the doctor comes in and he's doing everything, and he starts his procedure, and I say, "Is this boring? You know, is it more exciting when you get to do blood and guts and cool surgeries?" And he was like, "No, you know, this is actually cool. You know, this is a cool surgery. I know it in and out. It's cool. It pays the bills, right? I guess, I don't know." So then my big mouth, thank goodness I'm underneath the sheet because I probably look like a weirdo. But I said, "I noticed you had a wedding band on, but I was hoping to ask if you have any handsome single doctor gentleman friends." Everybody in the room started laughing, and then the doctor stopped talking to me. So I figured that was the end of our conversation, but it was pretty funny. So that's it. Then treatment started the next week. September 3rd was my first day of chemo. So I lied to you guys. I went a little bit over my 10 minutes. So I'm sorry. I hope I at least kept your attention. But I will make some shorter videos about like chemo side effects and dating while going through cancer, and some just kind of funny videos that might be a little bit more interesting other than these kind of doctor's appointments videos. But remember, before I log off, check your tatas. If you haven't done it in a while, remember, you just lift your arms up in bed, start with your armpit, go around the nipple. If anything feels off, make an appointment with your doctor, okay? Promise? Promise? Very good, very good. All right, come here, Dixie, come here. Come here. Say bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye, guys.